Tucked away in Kwabre Hemai lies a place many Ghanaians have never heard of. A place where stories are not just told. They are sculptured, preserved, and passed down through stone, symbol, and soul. This is not your typical museum. This is Jamadudu. From towering statues that speak with our words, to symbols that carry centuries of tradition and artifacts that whisper truths forgotten by time. On this particular journey, we are not just visiting a location, we are stepping into the roots of the Ashanti heritage. Everyone, you are welcome to Salama 360. Here we explore Ghana beyond the usual. We are discovering Ghana through taste and travel. Today we are at a place named Gyamadudu Museum. This place is full of history, mystery, culture, and then beauty. I cannot wait to show you all of it. So let's go inside and then see what this place actually has for us. There is so much more of Ghana to uncover, so subscribe to the Salama 360 channel now and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to see where we go next. Today we are at Gyamadudu Museum, and right at the entrance we are greeted by something powerful, a grand statue known as the Mother of Africa. Her arms are wide open, not just in pose but in purpose. It is a symbol, a call to every Ghanaian and every African in the diaspora. It says, come home, you belong here, your roots are calling. Let's go inside and see what the place has for us. This is more than just a museum, it is a journey into who we are. This museum is being built by the current chief of Heman in the Kwabre district, Nana Apelwiafe Ababio Sanwansan. He started this amazing project in 2018 and it was set to open June 2025. But as you can see, the place is not completely done. So the grand opening of the museum has been postponed. As you enter, the first painting on the wall that you are going to see has a write-up on it, and it says, you are here to understand yourself and not to be understood. It means you are here to understand or have insight into your own attitudes, behaviors, strength, and then weaknesses, not for anyone to understand who you are. Moving on to the next artwork on the wall, which is having a write-up on it. This particular one says, it pains your ancestors when you ignore them. The meaning to this particular write-up is that when you ignore your ancestors, it means you are missing a piece in the puzzle of your life. It is a sense of disconnection from your roots, your identity, and your own purpose. As you can see from the surroundings, this museum is not completely done. They are still working on it, yet it has so much to show us. We haven't even started yet, so let's move on to the next. And it's very important, especially for parents and then teachers. This write-up is saying that encourage the children to read and write in our local dialect, right? So we are only taught the English language. Now, over Gyamadudu Museum, they are telling us that teachers, parents, in fact, everybody should encourage their children, all right, to read and then write in our local language. That is why the first or the second write-up was telling us that it pains our ancestors when we ignore them, and we do not have to ignore them. We have to, learn everything about ourselves and then our ancestors. Beyond the walls of the museum lies something deeper, a sacred forest where history lives in silence and every step tells a story. Let's go inside. So there's another write-up here, and this particular write-up is also saying that study history to find out how great you were and what mistakes you made, right? So as it is saying, we should find out how great we were, said they're not yet here, and then what mistakes we've made, right? So na hemai eyokrobia slave trade masters no na omo the slaves ebetwam eho e de ko baby a omo de omo e den eko, but the then chief and some of the slaves were not allowing the slave masters to transport them through the Hemai township. What's the history behind it?
We are going towards, so I will tell you guys everything.
Okay.
Okay, guys, this man over here is called Kobina Kokofu. He was the strongest man among the slaves, both physical and spiritual. He was the strongest one among them. So, like, let me say, he was fighting for the freedom of his people. And he didn't think that, my friend who said, "Oh, come on, no conform." Omocheno, it's channel to Idiasi for 93 days. When did onum so from so tena hosa so tena hosa no wan san hu kwan san kan ho like my friend back no na mu so nwe no am sa bonu tu sa kun.
So for 93 days he wasn't eating nor drinking.
Without food, without water.
Wow. Where so
wan san so on sa be kwa
no mu shuti no.
Kun.
Then he was strong indeed.
All because like he was trying to fight for the freedom of his
people.
Because when inti omo chiche to odiase. When did onum so not know side we.
I learned that na slaves omo di twam wa ha say. Inti no di we kan krofo na omo fight say omo fa slaves no enko. Wow.
By eche no mbe hu eche no onde omo timi che no eche no to odiase ba omo timi limti nti je omo chiche no to odiase eno ma come we no ondidi onum so.
Wow.
No tell am say bosom miensa ne am say bosom miensa pepepe so na wan san wu kan san kon ho bosom miensa hwe undi unum so wan san am say bonu tu last minute on ba kon am say bonu tu sa kun.
I see. All right, so now moving on to one of the most provocative pieces of artwork in the entire space. It shows a black woman named Nana Abna confidently stepping on a white man, and while it may shock some at first glance, it is not created to promote hate or division. This artwork represents the resilience, strength and rising power of the African people. It is a symbolic reversal, a visual declaration that after centuries of oppression, exploitation and struggle, Africa is reclaiming its dignity, its voice and its power. It challenges us to think, to question history, and to reflect on what it means for the African people to rise again.
What's about like so far as you are back home to your land?
Yeah.
In Africa, be fearless, be bold, don't be afraid of anything.
Exactly.
And be walking like you have 3,000 ancestors walking behind you. So be bold, kunku. One anti kunku. So yes, so there's no nanti. So over 3,000 ancestors walking behind you.
That's true. The next interesting thing we are moving on to is a mud house named Heman Ancestral House or Heman Ancestral Building.
So I die we are not about the way you find the ancestors building. Like is we check kwaya na e faso use mad esi efie fa no. Eneme ko sako sirem kura ebi wo ho.
Yes.
But I say mu say like we not into we get to go by enye. Esi we check kwaya ya faso.
Maso ebi wo ho.
E check kwaya faso si efie fa. It's a friend the ancestors building. Says he then we the diaspora people, the kind of the diaspora like me before all I
diaspora.
In this way, the man one bar he performing name ceremony at the mount higher. It's after that so your mount all white. Now man anti barefooted. I'm on champa boy.
Okay.
My reason near goons and the amount. Now I'm much mudi. I can dinner here that woman in the was one.
Okay.
That was where you were 1,000 names I go also.
That's nice. From here, we are moving towards the Enyinesu River, which is also known as the Healing River.
Akwaba Enyinesu River. And also, people call it the Healing River. If you say like, Adibibiri, Adipabibiri, Amam, for instance, I'm friend the Healing River. So let's get it.
Let's get to see the river itself.
Before say Abia, what has like it depends on a belief.
Sure.
So you don't want the non person not saying be how. Not person will how change when now. Before somebody tries out, but you have to remove your slippers and now shoe be a channel. Now raw. Now can't what's in their hand. So you don't want the now what's in your hand. Now can how I change soon. Okay, so now could finance my work so Abamama. Not to slap me, and I come in about that, and I So what join scan also but to join kwa de jakwan na pato join. With that so that's it.
So at this point, I just wanted to demonstrate how prayers are being said in the Enyinesu River. So first of all, you have to remove your slippers or your shoes before you step into the river.
Okay, so how actually Enyinesu River,
Wait, baby episode
which is also known as the Healing River. Today we are coming to heal ourselves from all the troubles. And you know, may saying.
So before you can pray to the river Enyinesu, you will have to first mention the river's name, which is Nana Enyinesu. So after removing your slippers or your shoes, all you need to do is to step into the river, and then you have to start praying by mentioning the river's name, which is Nana Enyinesu. Then you go ahead to say the prayer that you want to say. You just need to pour all your worries to it, and then you wait for it to grant you your prayer request. When you are done, you can actually drink some of the water, because as you can see, it is clear and then clean, very drinkable.
And many Kesha, and it's so amazing. Now, and that hey.
If you say we know, it's not like a couldn't night a shiny. It's South Hasia, who caught next town.
Okay.
It's found now a motor for Hasia, number a query home by from basket, yeah, that
okay. It's not more to our from any basket.
Yeah, what about that?
And when then what's that dankasa?
Omo footprints. Omo footprints. Me na kura like omo na mo tiase no book no ba nso no ho.
Timotiano. Omo footprints ni. And I'm going to say kofa no she a footprint.
Footprints. I'm so question say oba in terms of question so ba US o ka kofa no to for you.
That be.
What you say oba baby.
Me kai bibi sa but me hwa kofa so e can say me say kofa no she footprint. Well, I'm saying that original hair dry.
Has it? But so question has it? Yeah. Baby, now can say like o confirm that original in so everyone about quiet. Say sacred no or no miss like in so and as say a come of one.
Enya ha. Na so mu so yeah who say biaye e wa ha say na eno so original home day.
Ha say no a shrine. You reach a queen, not yet before Africans for no, especially Ghana for no. Not yet fast so soon. Yes, Mufa.
Okay.
Now your basham, I say, now your poor libation through the ancestors to God. But my friend by only young upon Omofa Jesus Christ is a ship so. The bag Ghana says a young upon.
You had a Yamini. I have learned African traditional religion. So my friend is abosom and also your religion on its own.
A tribe by the poor. Muslim, I can't put to the a gay for today for to the
yes.
But in the process, no, me na any pet. By a dear, your one command planner, I will. So, cause all you, Ugun sound, we come as new. We talk on Lydia, we are fancy, we be new, talk on Lydia, we are. We are there. But I try the ancestor say, make an man Jesus Christ, mankind, Mohammed, and see the ancestors. Say, I call for flower, what about you in
ye? Yeah, it's really beautiful. So there is
this interesting kind of young Kobe Bennett.
There is this handsome black. This one is he a grandpa or man?
Let me say. A grandpa, one of our sisters.
Yeah, so who was he?
People like, if maybe your followers, some of the people know this man a lot, but not much popular.
No, yeah.
We found Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sebi.
He was an African herbalist and a nutrition.
Wow.
Now, Ocha Africans for quite a how you see your hair by any your journey for survivor. And also the only doctor in the entire continent how they can discover HIV here.
Oh wow.
because of that, so I discovered HIV cure. I'm not for no. I'm an invite. I'm an buy and never woo with cancer.
Wow. I'm not coming here. Dr. Sebi. All right. So guys, as you can see, we've been to some of the places, and then you've seen how the place looks like, how beautiful the place is, how historical it is. We've been to the river Enyinesu, we've seen Dr. Sebi, we've seen the strongest slave, or no, what didn't see was enka, or beku aje slaves na enka omudu omutwem na, no ekori etreno, omoche no cheche netanasi for 93 days. Even with all of that, when Emma Omobe shooting before they left this place. And then we've seen the shrine, right, where they pour libation. And as we explained there, that shows us the way that our ancestors used to pray. That is our way of worshiping God. But ours was through the ancestors, and it doesn't mean say they brought their own and we had our own. So we are not done. We are still exploring this place. So let's get into the
as we move into the second part of the sacred forest. Do not forget to subscribe to the Salama 360 channel.
The best step forward is to go back to tradition.
Of course. As a true African, your best step forward is to go back to your tradition. So, guys, we are going back to our tradition.
Yeah, so just as I said earlier, we are done with the first part of this museum, and then we are getting into another part of it. Yeah, but best stairs into my say and then we are going back to our tradition. So let's go and then see what
and also
Jamadudu Museum
in African belief or in Ghana belief, before you cross a river or you walk by a river,
yes,
even in driving car, you have to blow your horn before you cross the river. So as you can hear the sound of down there, there is a river behind us. Before crossing that river, we have to ask for permission before we cross that river. Exactly. And there is a bell over here. We have to pull it 3 times before we cross the river, or we ask for permission before we cross the river. So you guys pull it.
Okay.
3 times.
1, 2, 3.
So let's go.
Let's go. We are going back to our tradition. And we are crossing a river before that.
So that's the river.
So what's the name of this river?
It's called Akonsia. It's top there. We will get to there.
We'll get to there, okay. And then this place.
As you read the written over there, it's saying your best step forward is to go back to tradition. So we are back in the tradition. This is how our ancestors normally used to worship. This place, Ancestral, it used to be a local shrine.
Okay.
See.
All right.
But we maintain this place to show how our ancestors normally worship the God by coming to the shrine, pouring libation through the gods to the Almighty Lord. So we maintain this to show how. If you if you're an African, you see something like this. It's not a harm, but it means a worship center for Africans where we worship our libation through our ancestors to God.
Okay, so we have some bottles here. Yeah.
So
and then
that's the local wine that we use to pour the libation through the ancestors to God.
And then some bones on a stool. And then earthenware bowl.
So
there are a lot.
There's a lot of things.
A lot. And all of these things were things that they used to pray. Or worship. That's great.
So as being said, this place used to be a shrine, and the things you are seeing there were the things they used to pray through the lesser God to God Almighty.
We are still at Gyamadudu Museum exploring the place. And as we said, we are exploring Ghana beyond the usual. We are discovering Ghana through taste and then travel. And we are on it. So,
As well,
we are continuing.
we are at a man who sacrificed his life for the Ashanti kingdom.
Okay.
There was a war between the Ashantis and the Dentra people. And a confrontation request for a man who is not dead, a live person, to sacrifice his own life. It's not force, it's your own choice of sacrificing your life for the Ashantis. So this man over here sacrificed his life for the Ashanti. So they bury him, let me say half buried.
Yeah.
And they use this pot on his head for the soldiers to fetch some water in the pot to bath before going to the war. And also with that, they defeated the Dentra people.
That's great. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Chinibokudia.
Oh, okay. Twenebu Akodia was his name, and then he sacrificed his life, yes, for the Ashantis to be able to defeat the Dentra people. That's amazing. Yeah, so let's continue to this place. And there's a write-up over here as well. And it says, when you connect to your ancestors, your spiritual school begins.
So as well, they're saying that your best step forward is to go back to your tradition. So if you are back to your tradition, if you reconnect to your ancestors, your spiritual schools really begins alive. So if you are back to your root, you have to reconnect to your ancestors and let your spiritual school begins afresh, alive.
Sure. That's great. Yeah. So we are moving to another place, and there is signboard here, and it says Hemai Ancestral Memorial Garden, so Akwaba, and we are entering. What is this place?
It's a special garden that we did for the people in the diaspora.
Okay.
Like some of them, they went as slaves, but they believe that their roots are from Africa, especially in Ghana.
Okay.
So we create this place, like, let me say some special garden, let me say some special cemetery for them.
For them.
Mostly they bend them. Now masses now or magarashes now they contain them.
Okay.
And so we do they contain up so what they would there back to roots babies here. Like it is some special space there mama so come ashes remember see.
Into as at now a bit there what has say.
We now view her or meet to any was some there we now view her man we.
Okay.
And it will be so dear as a farmer say.
Into when you will be inside and I say
it's a farmer when a kind of some of no own way of doing things.
Yes.
It's almost a candles now.
Candle, okay. That's nice. Wow.
There is this other building in the forest which depicts a very, very sad story.
I can see some legs and heads inside. What is this place?
This building is called the ship house.
Ship house.
Like it's in a form of ship.
Okay.
We made this to show how the slave masters pack our ancestors when they in Africa when they buy like some of the slaves. This is how they pack them, arrange them until they get to their destination.
This is so bad. The shape ni mono. Waiting shaha. Waiting and mom.
Oma show me say waiting kwa like wait na kwa. No like I say we na kwa.
Na waiting aba.
Na we na kwa na waiting aba.
People moye alive. Before muye.
Sashe mo kwa I say change the down.
Change the
Oma change no.
Mom they are rough no mutiri mo edi.
such to me inside the account.
What a funny perfect will be chrome ko chrome. Na man princess treatment kakray. Paki ni pa we ti sha no was na the chain out to the corner.
Princess treatment. Much to say efuna go match.
Ya mi anim ni abrofo no mutiri mo eden pa.
Yeah, so before see my partner.
Ni your home pray.
Who's your answer? David Merchant. The Berlin Conference of 1884 we maybe I mean me have kind. But the main thing I will happy seeing the then chief of his mind in the Ashanti kingdom, Nana Apple Kwabena Kankam. 13 of the white soldiers were killed and they were buried at Timai precisely at this location. So this is the location there.
Wow.
And the then chief of Himai, Nana Apel Kwabena Kankam, he killed some white soldiers all because they were transporting slaves from unknown place to unknown destination. So they were passing this route.
Okay.
So he killed them, freed the slaves, and buried the 13 soldiers, the white soldiers, here.
Wow. Made a mess.
You can kind the graves.
What's it?
You can kind the graves.
I can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 for real. And how long has it been here?
For the date, like the date over it was 1884 to 1885.
Okay.
Where they buried these bodies here.
So since then, it has been here. So it means
their bones are down there.
Still, at least our chiefs did.
We are heading towards a very important plant, which can only grow in Ghana and Israel alone. This plant has a lot of health benefits, and it is called Aidan plant or Prekese in Ghana.
In the entire universe, we have 7 continents in it, and this tree can be found in Ghana and Israel only.
Wow. This is Prekese.
No name, but what shows no say Prekese. We show them no show no name say Prekese, but what shows no say Prekese.
This is Prekese. Wow. Our hache.
And also one of the healing trees in Africa.
Okay, that's nice. Misha, I say, na mocha.
Na yen starting museum no. Na amount for the dohasi.
Oh, okay.
So mono insano juma no.
Omo do no mocha.
Mocha.
They say they will be ntimi metwa bi.
There.
That's nice. So
as this place continues to amaze you, do not forget to subscribe to the Salama 360 channel so you can also discover more interesting places like this. This place has the biggest and the oldest tree in Heman or Kwabre district.
You are welcome to the biggest.
This place has the
tree
biggest and the
Kwabre
oldest tree
district.
in Heman or Kwabre district.
And the oldest tree in Kwabre district. And it is in Himai precisely. Wow.
And it's called Onyina Mankwa.
Onyina Mankwa.
The history is down there, so you can get closer and have some readings down there.
The kapok tree was formerly a source of healing and relief in Heman and its surroundings. Locals would tie a plantain pentacle around it while expressing their wishes. Their desires, including fertility and financial assistance, were often fulfilled, hence the tree's name, Onyina Mankwa. The apok tree gives life. So now go for every bonfire.
But still not a
Still now go for have a bonfire.
As you can see, the bottles down here, no to say about could be woman. I am on.
As being said, this tree's name is Onyina Emankwa. It gives lives into omo ya omunya ba no omutimi ba ha sei eba bebo empire chiredua no into obi ohonum na wapa awa onye bia. When the person comes to this tree and then pray under it or pray to it, the person tends to conceive and then will be able to give birth to a child.
We are moving
towards the first source of clean and drinkable water that was discovered in the Himan township.
Water in this town. So the history is here. I've talking a lot, my bread. Into not what kind.
Okay, so approximately 200 years ago, the inhabitants of Himan relocated from the old settlement and discovered a river, which they proved to be clear and drinkable. According to history, a crocodile used to emerge from the river during every full moon. However, it has been quite some time since the crocodile last appeared. This absence was due to the Himan stool being vacant for 29 years. Following the installment of Nana Apple, Riafe Ababio, then
Sanwansa, the then chief in this town.
Oh, okay, that's
he's called Nana Apple, Riafe Ababio, Sanwansa. The meaning of Sanwansa is say like Sawo sign on sign. So that's why one sign.
Wow. Wow. So he appeased the 20 rivers in the town by offering a lamb to each. Just 6 months after that ritual, precisely on the full moon of 25th December 2015, a crocodile emerged from the Akwasua, river for about 3 minutes before returning to the water. It is not surprising that the river is called Akwasua, as it was a hunter named Aqua who guided the Himan inhabitants to the river. Consequently, the river was named after him as
Akwasua. Like
Akwasu.
So he discovered the river. So like they added like Insu to his name.
So his name is Aqua.
And Insu.
So Aqua and Su. Wow. And over time it evolved into Akwasua. Yes. As in pronounce it Tina. Nice changing. I see. So this is it, right?
Is it?
Wow.
So the river you are seeing there used to be the very clear and then drinkable water that was first discovered in the Himan township. Coming out from the entire forest, there's a place being designed for resting.
Now, what people chill and be.
Now, what's Nancy?
Now, relax. I
do. I said, pub, bar, B.
Drinking spot B.
Yes. Was right to the heart. Drinks and ever shower.
Oh, yeah, for mountain.
Ever say, drink to the nest.
Proud Africa, so no matter what game they play, my question OBC, no sure BC,
Proud African, and
even at this point, we are not done learning. There are still a lot more to learn in the Gyamadudu Museum.
So it's a quote from Bob Marley, right? Wow.
They wanted to take it away. The game is like, let me say, colonization. That's the game. And what do we have? And they want to take it away.
Is this our resources?
Let me say it's one, our natural environment, and one thing, no matter what they would do in Africa, our color.
Oh, okay. Black. So our resources, environment.
And I want to say, they
wow. They want to wipe away our color. Wow. That's amazing.
And also they say their ancestors are waiting on you to teach the children so they can know themselves. So this is the ending point. That one is that you are here to understand yourself and be understood. So far as you walk around here, we are still here
waiting for you to teach your children. Oh, okay. So they can know that
every quote here have a meaning.
Sure.
In the beginning,
So
They're
it's
saying
like,
that you're here to understand yourself.
so
After walking through these bushes all around,
you've understood
to
yourself, and you
also
have to teach.
we are still here
waiting.
waiting for you to teach you to know yourself.
Oh, wow. That's good.
This building is a powerful celebration of identity and legacy. Here we see the Ashanti clans, each one represented by a unique animal totem. These symbols are not just decorations, they carry deep meaning, passed down through generations, reminding us of our roots, our responsibilities, and our place in the larger story of the Ashanti kingdom. In the same building are the faces of African leadership, statues of iconic presidents and revolutionaries, men and women who shaped the continent, stood for freedom, and carried the hopes of millions. From ancient lineage to modern legacy, this space connects the past to the present and reminds us of the strength we come from.
You've seen for yourself, this place is Gyamadudu Museum. And if this place surprises you, do not forget to like, comment, and then subscribe to Salama 360. This place has taught us a lot, and if you want to experience more of our tradition, if you want to learn about history, do not hesitate to come and check this place out, because this place got a lot to teach you. And see you again on Salama 360 next time. Thank you for watching.